Have you ever wondered the real cost of shooting? Well, if you have, thanks for stopping by. So, when we talk about burning a barrel out, actually shooting out a barrel, how much does that really cost? And what is the most expensive component to shooting? And this is primarily for reloaders here, but I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you. So let's say we got a 308, and typical barrel life on a 308 is about 5,000 rounds, okay? So if we buy brass, Lapua brass, high quality brass, is going to run you about $550. And now why I'm saying 500 pieces and not 5,000 pieces is because if you really take care of your brass and you process it well, you should be able to get 10 reloads per piece of brass. So 500 pieces of brass will last you 5,000 rounds as long as you don't make any mistakes with that. All right. Now you're going to need primers. You're going to need 5,000 primers. Okay. So again, right now in today's economy and the way things are for primers, you're probably going to pay around $550, give or take a hazmat charging fee for transportation if you have to order those primers. So about $550, about 10 and a half, maybe 11 cents a piece for primers. Gunpowder. Okay, so in the 308, and let's just say you're using BLC2, and with the particular bullet that I'm going to mention here in a little bit, I like to run about 44 and a half grains of powder. So if we divide that out to 5,000 rounds, we end up needing about right about 32.15 pounds of powder, but you can't buy 32.15 pounds of powder. You can buy 4 8-pound jugs and one 1-pound jug, and that is going to run you, give or take the hazmat fee for transporting the gunpowder, that's going to run you a total of about $1,116.95. Okay, so now let's go on to bullets. You need 5,000 bullets. And of course, we're not using cheap bullets here because we want the best of the best. So we're using Berger 185 grain Juggernaut bullets because those are the ones that I like to use for my 308. And you can get those for about 70 cents a piece. So 70 cents times 5,000 of them is going to run you a hair under $3,500. You're looking at $3,499.59 minus the shipping fee. So total on your bullets, powder, primers, and brass for 5,000 rounds is going to total you $5,716.44. This does not include taxes and shipping fees and hazmat fees, but about $5,716.44. So that's the cost of actually burning out a 308 barrel. Now, what's the cost of actually replacing the 308 barrel? So this is something that most people would associate as being like the highest cost of shooting a gun. You're like, well, I've got to, the barrel's only going to last so long, and I'm going to have to replace that. And, a real replacement barrel for like a 308, for like a good one, you can get a pretty decent pre-fit preferred barrel blank, which actually I run on my 6.5 PRC, and it shoots extremely well. Under half minute of angle a lot of times. So, anyways, those barrels, if you just get a straight taper, no contouring or anything, get it threaded for a muzzle brake or whatever, you're gonna pay somewhere around $700, and that may or may not include the shipping. So $700 for a barrel that's going to last 5,000 rounds that you're going to put almost $6,000 worth of components through is really not that bad. Now, on the other hand, if you don't want to spend the time reloading, you can buy loaded ammunition, and you've got two options if you want to shoot the particular loads that I'm talking about with the 185 grain Berger Juggernauts. You can either buy Berger ammunition that's loaded with the 185 Berger Juggernauts, or you can buy Federal Premium Gold Medal match rounds that are loaded with the 185 Juggernauts. So if you want to do that, the cheapest place that I've found, or the cheapest ones that I have found that are in stock and you can go and buy them, you just have to look around. I'm not going to point you in that direction because that's my honey hole. That's where I order my rounds from. But you can buy these bullets loaded in the Federal Premium 185 grain gold medal match Juggernaut bullets for they're about $33 a box. $32.99 a box, I believe, is what they're running. So if you were to, we're talking about a box of 20, so if we want 5,000 of them, we're going to look at about 250, or actually exactly 250 boxes of that ammo at $32.99 a box. So we're looking about $200 of ammunition that's already loaded means that you spend about $2,500 more than you would if you bought all the components and loaded all of the ammunition yourself. Now, how much of that of your time is that going to take to load that much ammunition? Well, it kind of depends. Do you have an automated setup, or are you doing it on a single stage press? Just depends, and it also depends too. Is when you really think about it, is it worth $2,500 to you of your time to load that much ammunition? Because that could take quite a while if you're on a single stage press, or do you think it's more actually economical as far as your time goes to just go ahead and spend the extra $2,500 and not even have to deal with it and buy really premium, high quality ammunition that you know is going to shoot? Because a lot of times reloading, trying to recreate and replicate store-bought ammo that shoots really well out of your gun, you're going to spend a lot of time making mistakes and trying to figure out how it actually shoots good and what to do to make it shoot as good, if not better, than that store-bought ammunition. So it's up to you. That's just the reality of it, and so that's the difference of either $8,250, buy all the rounds you're ever going to shoot for that barrel, and 5,000 rounds of ammunition. If you're not a competitive F-class shooter or something, and you're just an average guy, 5,000 rounds is going to last you more than a lifetime. You'll be able to hand that rifle and that ammunition down to your kids. But if you are an F-class shooter and you do compete, 5,000 rounds will be easily gone through probably in a year. You will probably shoot that much, if not more, ammunition. So it just depends on what you're doing. Are you hunting with the rifle? Or are you competing with the rifle? Or, in this ammunition? It's up to you. But the reality is that people look into replacing barrels and buying match grade barrels and stuff for their rifles, and they think that maybe the barrel is a huge expense. You buy an off the shelf rifle, and it doesn't quite shoot the way you want to because it's got one of those mass produced barrels. They crank a few thousand of them out every day, and they're not really, they may even be called match grade, but they're not really match grade. And so you really want a high quality barrel, and the cheapest way to go for me, I think, is buying pre-fit barrels, because basically all you need is a go and a no-go gauge, and as long as you got the right tools, you can mount your barrel yourself on most bolt-action rifles, as long as they have pre-fit options. But still, the decent high quality pre-fit barrel, you're still going to run into that $700 range for a barrel these days. So you may be thinking that $700 for a barrel is a little high, and it does sound expensive, but when you think that this thing's literally going to last 5,000 rounds, and if you're one of those weekend warrior guys, you're gonna you may go out to the range and practice every weekend like I do, and I'll go to the range and I'll shoot my guns, and I usually don't shoot the same one every weekend, though, unless I'm doing load development, and then I'll probably spend a few consecutive weekends working on some load development until I figure out what really works good. But I'll take different rounds and different rifles, and I may, as far as any one particular rifle goes, I may only shoot 200 or 300 rounds a year out of it. That's probably the reality. And most of that ammunition is going to get shot through it in a short period of time, and then, within a few weeks. And then the rest of the year, I might just take it out to shoot it every once in a while and put 5 or 6 rounds through it. Or, if we go out to long range, go out and we're going to try to shoot on the pipeline like 500, 600, 700, 800, 1,000, further, 1,800 yards. Probably going to take 20 rounds with me, and that's going to be it. And I'm not even going to shoot all those, maybe 5, 6, 10 rounds at the most. So shooting for me is not one of those things where I'm going to go out and just burn through a bunch of ammo at one time. I'm not shooting matches all the time. I'm not doing tons and tons of testing and stuff. So, a $700 barrel for me is probably going to last 4 or 5 years before it really needs to be replaced. So if you break that down per year, it's not that bad. $120, $130 a year for a barrel. Most people can afford that. So anyways, I hope this kind of helps you guys out and kind of put some food for thought in between your ears. And we'll see you next time in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.